Okay, good morning. I'd like to welcome you to the webinar for the FirEUrisk information data visualization tools. We're going to wait just 1 or 2 minutes before beginning to allow people to join, but we'll be underway very soon. Okay, so first of all, just a little bit of housekeeping. During the webinar, there's the opportunity to ask questions and we will hopefully be able to answer them for you. But can I ask you not to do the questions in the chat, please? There's a special button for questions and you can use that. Okay, thank you. So this is today's program. Shortly, Emilio Schubiaco, the University of Alcalá, will give you an introduction to the project, the overall structure, the integration scheme, and you'll then proceed to describe the mobile app that was developed during the project. After this, we will introduce the open platform where you can access the data and various tools and codes that were produced during the project. Then we will introduce you to the FirEUrisk viewer. Arvanaut, who produced this, will be presenting this, and this will be followed by myself. I'm Christopher Mars, I'm at the Technical University of Dresden, and we will introduce the FirEUrisk wiki. So let's start. So Emilio, would you like to share your screen, please?
I think you, okay, I can do it now. Okay, can you see my screen now?
Yes, I can see your screen. Okay,
thank you. Okay, so as Chris was saying, will briefly present we are trying to do with FirEUrisk, a project funded by the European Union, the H2020 program that will end in just a few weeks. Actually, it started in 2021. We have been 4 years running the project. Basically, the main objectives are those in the screen now. We aim to develop holistic tools to improve the estimation of risk, fire risk, assessment of current conditions, reduction of those conditions to mitigate fires, and also model future fire regimes that would make us more available to be adapted to future conditions of fires, and integrate all these phases into an integrated management strategy. The project has been working with 6 areas, 5 pilot sites located in Mediterranean countries: Portugal, Spain, Greece, Central Europe, a common area between Germany, Poland, and Czech Republic, and the southern part of Greece. Also, we developed several variables for the European territory, trying to show the complete vision of European conditions related to fire. One of the first things we came out with was an integrated risk assessment system that includes 3 aspects following the general terminology on natural hazards, including danger, the probability that the fire starts or propagates, exposure, the potential assets and people being affected by fire, and the vulnerability, which would be the level of preparedness and the potential damages caused by fires. We have 3 main work packages, one dealing with risk assessment, another with risk reduction, and the third one with risk adaptation. We have a 4th work package dealing with the integration of these three different phases, as well as combination of fire risk with other hazards like snowstorms or windstorms or metal impacts. Also, we have 1 work packages on demonstration in different pilot sites, and another one on dissemination. As I said, one of the first issues that we agreed with was to develop an integrated fire risk assessment system that includes all these 3 aspects that I mentioned before. The scheme was published in an open access journal. It has been well accepted by the community with almost 15,000 views and almost 50 citations. Some examples of these variables, all of them were developed for the European territory as well as at the pilot site level. And for the European territory, the target scale was 1 square kilometer, while for the pilot sites was 1 hectare. This is an example of ignition probability derived from historical fire occurrence and different human and biophysical variables. We also generate a new fuel type classification system that has been developed for the whole territory, but also for the different pilot sites. And this fuel classification was based on a hierarchical structure. Therefore, we can go up to more detailed types whenever more detailed information is also available. And these fuel types were converted to fuel models using for the surface fuels, the standard Scott and Burgan classification system, and also they were parameterized at the ground level using different satellite sensors, mostly LiDAR and GDI, the space station LiDAR system, and extended those models to the Northern European countries, which are not covered by this system. The live fuel moisture content was also derived from satellite data using radiative transfer models. With these fuel models, as well as the estimation of dead fuels, moisture content, and live fuels, we developed using the standard Behave model and FLAMAP. We developed estimation of potential fire propagation, typically extending the idea of not simulating single fires, but the whole territory. That would be the potential propagation, including fire line intensity, rate of spread, and flame length. In terms of exposure, we were dealing with different models, including or not the smoke dispersion, but finally we decided, at least for the European territory, to focus on areas that are vulnerable on one hand, and also applying an additional weight for those areas with wild and urban interface, which is as is well known, are the most dangerous areas in terms of potential fire impacts. We also consider vulnerability aspects, which are not very commonly included in the standard fire risk assessment systems. We both estimate the socioeconomic services potentially affected by fires, as well as ecological values. The vulnerability was actually computed considering the potential damages of fire, including the pre-fire values on one hand, but also the coping capacity, so the resistance of the different vegetation communities to fire, as well as the recovery rate, again considering the plant functional types. With this model that was integrated in a single platform, and therefore we could model the fire risk conditions for daily weather parameters, but also for historical fire occurrence patterns. This historical scenario was based on the most extreme conditions, considering the burn areas of the last 20 years derived from satellite data. And with these extreme scenarios, we simulate the impacts of different mitigation strategies. For instance, this one, assuming that we would reduce the fuel load by a certain proportion from the current conditions. So the idea in this case is to estimate what would be the impacts of doing this or that activity in terms of mitigation purposes. So this is a very general and very quick summary of the project that was presented in other webinars. But this one is mostly focused on dissemination tools developed for the project. These are the 4 aspects that we will cover here, and I will briefly talk about the mobile application that was developed at the very beginning of the project, the first 6 months. And it was mostly intended to develop ideas that could be used for engaging ordinary citizens in fire-prone areas to receive information, but also to provide information on the fuels and potential impacts of fires in the regions. Basically, as I said, it's a prototype. It's not meant to be a commercial product, but I think that could be useful, at least as an experimental way for future developments. The strengths are the system includes the interaction with end users and includes information on the 3 phases of fire: pre-fire or fire risk assessment, active fires, and burn areas. The application is only available for the Android. We didn't have resources to develop other operating systems. The final version, the version that we developed was, as I said at the beginning of the project, so not all the final variables are accessible through the application, but that could be easily extended if needed. So this is the aspect that the application has. You can download it from the standard Play Store and Google Play. And the application has this aspect, includes, of course, an explanation of what is the context of the application, and also there is a disclaimer, not that obviously including some ethical aspects in the way we handle the application. The main menu includes these 3 aspects: fire risk variables, fire alerts, post-fire impacts, and also the program can be used to send information. And for that particular case, the user has to be logged in, has to be registered in the system. So these are some examples of the variables that can be accessible from the application. For instance, the likelihood of ignition in a range from 0 to 1,000. The fuel types, in this case, it is derived from this European fuel type map that I mentioned before. And also this is the option to send fuel information. So we could eventually use the experience of ordinary citizens to validate the fuel type and eventually to include new versions, new improvements in fuel type. In terms of fire alerts, we link the application with the FirEUrisk, which is a NASA service to detect active fires from different satellite systems. So the user can zoom in the area of interest and detect which are the active fires in that particular moment of time. And also it can send information to the civil services, let's say civil protection or whatever, in case there is a fire nearby his location or her location. Finally, the post-fire impacts includes a link to the EFIS, the European Forest Fire Information System, that includes the burn perimeters of the last year. And again, also the user can send his own information on impacts of fires that are nearby. This is my brief presentation of the project and as well as the application. I will leave the floor to other colleagues that will present other dissemination tools. This last slide just gives you a brief summary of the main achievements that were developed for the project. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Emilio. Can I just remind people, if you have a question, please feel free to ask it in the questions and answers button at the bottom of the screen. So, Emilio, you stop the share. That's very good. Agelos, would you mind sharing your screen, please? So, Agelos is from Subways.
Yes. Hello.
Hi, Agelos. And Agelos will talk us through the open platform. Okay, thank you very much, Agelos.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, great. Good morning to everyone. Let me share my screen. Okay, I think that... Can you see my screen now? No. Now you must be able to see my screen.
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay, great. Hello, everyone. My name is Angelos Angelis. I am a software engineer at Subways. And I'm going to give you a short presentation regarding the Data Hub, which is the main data repository of the open platform. The FirEUrisk open platform is conceptualized as a one-stop shop for accessing publicly available data models and knowledge related to wildfire risks in Europe. The platform facilitates communication, interaction, and linkage among various online services developed within the project framework. This integration aims to maximize the dissemination of content and the recommendations associated with the project's integrated risk-based fire management strategy. By freely providing datasets, tools, and training material developed, tested, and refined during this project, the platform serves as a wide range of stakeholders and end users, including fire services, forest services, civil protection agencies, planners, and policymakers. The main platform, the main data repository that we implemented for this project and is based on an open source project is the Data Hub. Here is the Data Hub URL. Let me stop the presentation to just share my browser. I hope that you can see my browser. So here is the platform's URL. It's FirEUrisk.satwis.net. As you can see, here we can see that we have more than 500 gigabytes of data already uploaded on the platform, almost 100 users, and there are different, and all this data are structured in datasets, collections, and spaces. So as soon as I log in into the platform, I have access in the data and the datasets that exist here. So I have already prepared some pages. Okay, I've been logged out. Let me grab this. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to give you some short presentation regarding some of the data that are uploaded on the platform. And in the next part of the presentations today, you will see how they are visualized on the open platform viewer, which is the main component used for visualizing data. So as you can see here, I have logged into the Data Hub, and we are watching a space dedicated to the European territory data. As you can see here, we have a list of datasets uploaded here, and I can access any of these datasets. So for example, here, the fuel models, we have a short description for this dataset. The product includes the fuel type and parameters following the standard classification of fuels for the European territory, the final output, fuel classes, and static fuel map with a spatial resolution of 1 square kilometer. As you can see, the data uploaded here are basically, in this case, a TIFF file with an SLD that is used in order to visualize this data as a WMS layer served by the Data Hub platform. So the project partners have created some datasets. Those datasets are uploaded on Data Hub. They are accompanied with some SLDs, and these data are pushed on a GeoServer, serving WMS layers to any other component, as for example, the FirEUrisk viewer. Of course, the platform offers metadata for all the datasets uploaded, which can be accessible through the platform. Some of the datasets are marked as public, as you can see here. So this means that even you can access it exactly right now. Let me use an incognito window and try to access the same dataset. As you can see, I didn't have to log in. So some of the data provided through the project are already publicly available. Some others are not, but this is just a configuration of the data provider into the platform. This is the main road that was used for the datasets that you will see in the next minutes of the presentation in the other components. The Data Hub's main goal is not the presentation of data, but just the storage of data and serving data to other components. But we have added some minimal viewing capabilities on this Data Hub platform. I can show you other datasets provided also by the Data Hub. So here we have the IRI exposure. As you can see here, we have again a TIFF. All those TIFFs, when one dataset includes more than one TIFFs, those data are streamed from the Geo server as an image mosaic, as a time series layer. Again, all this will be viewed on the next steps in today's webinar. That's all from my side. I don't know if there are any questions.
Okay. Thank you, Angelos.
Thank you, Christopher. Thank you, everyone.
Just as a reminder, a link to this platform is available on the FirEUrisk website on the resources tab. Okay, thank you very much. So the next part, as Angelos was alluding to then, is the FirEUrisk viewer, which is provided by Arbonaut. I'd like to invite Tuomo Vuorenpää, sorry Tuomo, and I'd like you to share your screen. Oh, Angelos, can you stop sharing, please?
I'm trying to be honest. It shows that I'm not sharing now, but.
Okay. Tuomo, can you see if you can share, please? If the, it's just, there we go. Okay, so it's clear. So Tuomo, you're clear to share your screen, please.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, we can see your screen. It's in editing mode.
Yeah, now I think I do have a voice already also.
Yes, we can hear you. Could you just
Good. Yeah, I will put it to presentation for me. Yes,
cool.
Just a second. Yes. So
Brilliant.
yes, my name is Tuomo Vuorenpää. I come from.
Sorry, Tuomo, you need to change screens because we are seeing the presenter mode. Just go to the display settings up there.
Okay. Settings.
It was on. Okay, it was. Just share again, please. Share it again as you did.
Okay.
Okay, and now you go on top. You have display settings on that menu.
I do not have a menu
on the
here.
top. Because you are just using one monitor. So you just go to the slideshow, to the slideshow menu on top. Slideshow.
I cannot see.
Yes, that's it. Slideshow.
Where is it?
Yes, you have on top. You have the menu, the ribbon: home, insert, draw, design, transitions, animations. Slideshow.
There. Okay.
Yes, in the slideshow menu.
Yeah, you mean
to the
here?
right, in the mid, no, in the middle, more or less in the middle. You have the slideshow. Keep going with your mouse to the right.
Okay.
No, in the middle of the screen, more or less.
Yeah, but I cannot see it because it is covered by this. Yeah, now I can see. Okay. It was covering.
Okay, so then on the right side you have the monitors and it's automatic. Can you see it, that box?
Yes.
Yes. And take off the presenter view. That check. Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Thanks for this. So
and now you just share again.
Share again, yeah. Maybe it's better now. So then when I go to.
Yeah, perfect. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, my name is Tuomo Vuorenpää. I come from Argonaut, and we have been working on this FirEUrisk viewer, open platform viewer, and this is an interactive mapping tool to visualize and analyze the data that is in this open platform or this data hub that Agelos just presented. So this enables the users to access this data that is put to that database accessible there. So this platform is project specific, and even pilot areas may have different set of layers and maps and even different functionalities. So it is adjustable for different use cases. So the main functionalities it has a layer management, as all GIS tools have. So users can toggle layers and adjust transparencies and combine datasets. They can access the different data available. We also have a time layer functionality, so it allows users to analyze changes over time. For example, for fire cases, it is quite good to have understanding of analyzing over time changes of the data. Then we have basic measurement and analysis tools and printing tools there, and the configurations are asset project specific, and the data mainly comes from this data hub. So that is the main source of truth, so to say. So it is presented from there, and then we also have some data sets in our own databases that, for example, are for configurations, and then some user management, and some layers are also there. But we could also add additional databases and present those data in our system. So this viewer is meant for fire prevention specialists or analysts for danger, exposure, and vulnerability maps. And here you have the link to that viewer, and it is open for everyone, but for security reasons, the credentials are provided only upon request, and the email is there. Here we have some examples of the layers that we have there, but now I will jump briefly to the layers and the viewer itself. So I have logged in as FirEUrisk user. That is the credentials provided. So here we have the European territory plus the 4 pilot areas presented. So you can select the areas from there. Right now I have selected one layer of the 11 ones that are selected to be the set of European territory. So when I go to integrated risk index, we can see that, okay, this is let's say one of the flagship products of this project, this integrated risk index. So it is a data set that combines these 3 aspects, and there's also a link to that data set. So we can zoom in and out, we can look at specific locations, and we have time layer settings for some of the layers, not all, but some of the layers that have those. So we can go to different times and see the changes in the data sets. So here we can see that the integrated risk index changes over time. Then we have some other layers, like if we close this one, then we have the base map over there. Then we go to fuel models. There are the combined fuel models for the whole Europe. And here we have the data about what this is all about. So descriptions of those layers are available. Then we go to fuel types. There's also a description of what that contains. Also published during this project, this FirEUrisk project. So these are like these were some of the examples of these layers. And if I go back to this layers available, so these were the whole European territory maps, and we have 5 pilot areas in this project. They have specific sets of maps layers. So based on different areas, they have different user needs. So they have a little bit different set of layers there. And these are some of the layers that are there available in this viewer. So if you would like to see some of those layers, you can go to this viewer and have a look. And then as I said, these time layers are also available for some layers. Now for European territory, there are 7 time layers available for they are for live fuel, moisture content, flame length, fire and intensity, vulnerability, reduction of ecosystem services values, danger, and then in this integrated risk index that I was just showing you. And they are for different time periods. There's this tool that where you can change the time you want to have a look at, and then the viewer automatically shows the
Could I just
data
ask
of
you
that time.
Can I just ask you to make it into presenter mode, please? To make the screen look a bit larger.
Okay, sorry.
In presentation mode, thank you.
Yeah. I think it's okay. Yeah. So then briefly going to the future potential. So of course this was meant to show the data hub data, those layers that are selected to be viewed here, but there are potentials to continue this. Of course, adding new pilot areas and countries is one option, but then also for different other purposes like live operational data, and then predictive analysis or analytics. So for example, fire behavior modeling, fire simulations could be attached to this, and for example, showing only the progress of the simulated fires or the end result. Then the AI-driven risk assessments are, of course, also possible to be added to this project platform that is quite flexible for different use cases. And this can also show data from different sources. So this is not only for open platform or this data hub, but instead can be a hub for various data sources. So this viewer is designed to provide data-driven insights for decision makers working with forest fires. So this tries to help those to get faster, safer, and more effective responses in different scenarios. So briefly, this was my presentation. In any comments or questions?
No, can we keep the questions to the questions and answer function on the Zoom webinar?
Sure.
Thank you, Tuomo. Can I also ask you to put the contact details for the viewer into the chat, please, just in case people didn't have a chance to take that down when we presented it?
Yeah.
All right, thank you very much. Could you stop sharing your screen, please?
Where does that stop?
Yeah, that's fine.
I did it.
Okay.
Okay, so now it's my turn. So I'm going to present to you the Wikipedia, the wiki, sorry, that's been produced in the project. The wiki can be found in the FirEUrisk website, and you simply go to resources. Click down here, you'll see the other resources from the project. So the mobile platform, the mobile app, we will add the viewer to this, but you can also get that information from the chat shortly when Tuomo puts it on it. But for now, I'm going to demonstrate the wiki. So simply click on there, and this takes you to the opening page. So a very similar structure to most wikis that you'll come across. And here you'll see the diagram that Emilio presented earlier. This is the backbone of the project. This is the integration scheme, the conceptual integration framework scheme. And here you can see all of these various components that feed into, in this example, danger, here into exposure, and here into vulnerability. And these all form part of the wildlife risk assessment. So the aim of the wiki really is to support the project, so you can understand how we've got to these detailed data sets, how we justify them, what data we use, what methods we use, and what information is there for us to share with you. And so it's clear how we've done this, and it's our intention this stays within the wildfire community, and it gets built upon and becomes used by everybody. So I'm going to give you an example now. So we made the diagram interactive, so you can click on it. So in this example here, we can click on danger. And this takes you to a full description of what we consider in this project as danger, sometimes referred to as hazard. Within each of these descriptions, you'll see links to other parts. I'll show you that in a second. And then each one contains they're fully referenced and lots of other links to show how we develop this. So if we just go here, in each of these descriptions, you'll see return to the conceptual framework diagram. And this takes you back obviously to the diagram. So if we go to ignition, one part of it, and then we see that ignition is split into natural or human ignition. So in this example, we can click on human ignition. And it shows you how within the project, what we consider human ignition is, how we also measured that, and how we created the data sets that go into the integrated framework. So we can go back here. I'll give you another example. So if we go for the third of these key components of wildlife risk assessment, we'll go for vulnerability and resilience. And here we have a very good description of resilience and how we consider that within the project. Again, fully referenced, and here we can see the two parts of resilience. So just quickly go back to the diagram. You can see here that resilience is comprised of coping capacity and recovery time. So we click on resilience, sorry, and then we can click on recovery time. And this again takes us these component parts of the diagram. This will be built on. There's still some more information to go on it, to go within it. Within this project, this part here was essentially work package 1, understanding the risk. What we also have in the project is wildfire mitigation, risk mitigation, and adaptation for the future. On this example here, I'll click on adaptation. Again, we're talking about this generally in terms of future weather conditions under changing climate, but also potentially socio-economic changes that might happen in the future to the land use change. Again, at the moment, we just have we have this part of the page, but over the next week, this will be increased and be a bit more comprehensive view of it. So, as part of the project, for each of these various components, ignition, propagation, population, assets, ecosystems, coping capacity, or recovery time, for each of these develops a product that is used to help calculate this overall risk assessment. And within the next couple of weeks, we will see that we've got an example here. We've got some human ignitions. And the products that we have developed in the project will be also available here. So it's a fully comprehensive and integrated look at how the project was structured, the data behind it, the research behind it, and the reasoning behind the whole integrated risk framework. Yes, I mean, like I said, we still have some more to do. We still have to fill it in, but I think this is very useful for us to share as a project our understanding of the whole holistic and integrated risk management and assessment, and to be able to make available to you the information that we used and the data sets that we produced and our reasoning behind it. So we have a little bit more time left. If anyone has any more questions, we will remain here for answering your questions. And I'd like to say thank you very much for attending. I'd like to say thank you very much to our presenters, to Emilio, to Paulo, to Agelos, and to Luis, who's behind the scenes organising everything. Okay, thank you very much. Please don't forget to visit the website. Here, I'll put the website in the chat, and then please go to resources, and you'll find what we've presented here today is available here. But please feel free to explore all the other parts of the project, particularly our pilot sites, which is one of the other work packages, and you can see some of the more detailed work that's been undertaken there. Okay, so thank you very much, and we will remain here to answer your questions. Thank you for joining us. Bye-bye.
Chris, there are several questions about how to register to the open platform and how to download some of the data sets. I don't know if Angelos could cover that.
Yes. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Great. So regarding the access into the platform, we have enabled some data sets to be publicly accessible. I also read that message and tried to download a couple of them, but I think that we have a broken configuration. Then I will try to fix it ASAP because the initial configuration was not only to have access to view the data on DataHub, but also to download them. So this must be a small issue there, but I'll try to figure this out. Now, it's supposed to have to offer public access just to the publicly available datasets, not all the datasets that are uploaded on DataHub. If you let me share my screen to help anyone find. Okay, this is the correct screen. So I believe that you can see my screen now. So when someone reaches the FirEUrisk.satwis.net URL, this is the welcome page. And from Explore and Explore Datasets, you can see all the public datasets that can be viewed. Okay. There are multiple pages of them. So for now, and until I fix that configuration, you can just visualize those datasets on DataHub. But I will take a look very quickly in order to fix this, as again, this is a matter of configuration. So just try to visit the Explore menu and datasets to see which are the public datasets. The credentials can be shared if asked, but as this is also used as the main platform for the project partners, that's why we are not currently giving access to anyone else. But this is again something that is configurable. I hope that I covered your question. Let me check the download option for the public datasets and come back to you as soon as possible. Okay?
Thank you, Aggelos.
You're welcome.
More questions. Question here from Abdullah Rehman. Teomo mentioned AI for risk prediction. Is that something that's actively being developed? Not within this project. As Professor Emilio said earlier, this project is coming towards an end at the end of March and will be finished. I don't know of anybody using AI for risk prediction. I think there's a risk in using AI for risk prediction. But I'm sure, you know, as we move on over the next years and we see AI within every facet of our lives, it appears to be that somebody will try this, but as part of this project, it hasn't been employed. I hope I answered your question.
Several attendants have asked me, or has asked, about the continuity of the service and the data sets and the updating of the data sets. I have answered them individually, but probably there is also global interest to know if what we have found will be kept in the future. Basically, we're trying to transfer most of the data from the European territory to the EFIS, which is the Operational Forest Fire Information System, and also to the national fire managers. We have been always very active in contacting end users. So the idea is to transfer the best results from our projects to the operational services. But obviously, we cannot guarantee updating in the future because the funding ends in a few weeks. I don't know.
If I can add.
Sure, yeah.
We are also working with the European Commission to launch our platform and our products in webs of the European Commission that will make them available even after the project. They may not be updated, but that is something that we are negotiating and discussing with the services if they, but our idea is that these products are used by all interest people and even after the project ends. So that's we are working on that to make them useful.
Please, if there are no more questions, and probably we can sum up and finish this.
I suppose, as I said, we've got one final question you'd like to pose to us.
There's a question about the wiki, if the wiki will be maintained, I guess, for several months, not still the platform will be available.
Yeah, I think for some months, as Domingos alluded to there, we're trying to get this continued via the European Commission and through their website. Okay, so if no more questions, then I think we can finish. Once again, thank you very much to the presenters. Thank you for people attending and spending your time with us. Hopefully you can access all of those these tools and products that we have here. Please don't forget to go to the FirEUrisk website. I'll put the link in the chats, and you'll see there in the top right hand corner there's resources tab, and you'll be able to access these the things we've demonstrated today. Okay, once again, thank you very much for your time. I hope you enjoyed it. Bye bye. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.